games already. So thank y'all so much for having me. Like I said, I'm coming in hot from volleyball and football games here in Arkansas, where it's still about 100 degrees. Um, and when I think back to when I started Plexus, I honestly think that I was thinking my life honestly was good. I was a stay-at-home mom. That was my dream. I had 3 little kids, but we would take vacations. We were fine, but I was looking ahead and going, okay, eventually all these kids, I'm going to want to put them in private school and they're all going to need braces. And they're all like, I knew that from here out, it was only getting more and more expensive. And so where we were good then, I wasn't sure how great it would be like 10 years down the road. And I had done network marketing before and I actually loved it. I had seen women in town that I just respected, that I saw as people that I loved to be around, that had really great marriages and husbands with successful jobs, and they were doing network marketing. And I would see them doing the workout classes in the morning and still picking up their kids in the afternoon. And I called my sister and said, I want to do what they're doing. And so we did. And we were with a company for a couple years, and I had all my babies, and it was a party company, and I was lugging all kinds of stuff. And I couldn't do all that at the time. And so I put a pin in it and I thought, I'm going to come back to network marketing. And so years down the road, in my head at that point, I had this checklist of everything that I wanted in a network marketing company. And I looked at tons, and especially because I moved from Arkansas to Pennsylvania. And so I would get cold messages every day because people thought, oh, she's in Pennsylvania, she's going to be in a whole new network. And if she says yes, this could be great. And if she says no, well, I'll probably never see her again because she lives in Pennsylvania. So I would get messages all the time. And then when I had a friend, I say she was a friend, she babysat me, Elizabeth James. Her dad had been our pastor growing up. And she sent me this long message, and she was someone I really respected. She had her whole family, they're doctors and high, graduate degrees and all this. And I was like, and again, her dad like started our mega church. He discipled my dad and all this. And I thought, now, okay, if she's doing Plexus, then I'm looking at this. And my mom had been taking the products and she really liked them. And when I was in Pennsylvania, all these women that I started meeting with were all into natural health and spoke different places and had Facebook pages with tens of thousands of people talking about clean living. And I was learning all this stuff from all these women. And when they were kind of they were paying like $100 a month. The median household income there was like less than $40,000 a year for the household. And they would be spending like $100 a month on a probiotic and telling me how it was so important. And so I was hearing all these things. And so when Plexus came around, I was like, okay, I'm doing that. And so I really joined for the business, and I would be having meetings in my living room, so a silver ambassador, and I would be inviting people over to hear about the business. And I would be saying, hey, my name is Rebekah and I'm a silver ambassador with Plexus. And I'm going to tell y'all how we're going to go diamond. Like from the very beginning, I was like, we are doing this thing. So I didn't have some big story. I didn't have some big testimony of my own. I didn't have even really a big health testimony at the time. I was 28. I'd had a bunch of babies. I did have a bunch of things that ended up that Plexus, the products ended up helping with. But at the time, I just thought they were like normal problems. I was like, oh, everybody doesn't go to the bathroom once a week, and everybody doesn't have kind of funny little, doesn't have skin issues or restless leg syndrome. I just thought it was like totally normal. And who had time to go to the doctor when you've got 3 kids under 3? Like you just work it out. You just work it out. So I fast forward, and I went emerald, went diamond. I actually went through a divorce kind of in my first year in Plexus, and something I never would have really seen coming. And because of Plexus, I'd been a stay-at-home mom for 9 years. I left college to have babies, I was able to provide for all of my kiddos. And where I wasn't the homeroom mom anymore, but I still was at all the field trips, and I was still coming up to the school and doing lunches. And in the middle of a tragedy and a crisis, a lot of my life was able to kind of stay stable as I was able to be there with my kiddos. And then keep fast forwarding, and I ended up meeting someone that was on my Plexus team. He was my level 3, and we got married. So we've been married for 7 years. We had a baby 2 years ago. So I have 3 kids that are a junior, a freshman, and a 7th grader. And then I have an almost 2-year-old. So just be careful. I'm going to talk about vision, but I mean, things can really just name whatever you're looking for. Plexus could be it for you. So it definitely was for me. So, okay, what I want to talk about is vision. And I feel like this is something the last couple of years, it's kind of been a buzzword, casting vision. Do you have vision for your team? Do you have vision? Are you able to cast that vision? And I just see that as this, like, transference of energy and hope. I heard a pastor say one time that another word for vision is hope. And so you've got hope and belief in this for yourself. And then when you really have that, you're able to transfer that to other people. And so, I believe vision is built on belief. And about a year ago, I was on Marco Polo, and I was talking back and forth with a few other diamonds, Christina Williams and Brittany Howard and Melissa Eichenhorst. And we were talking about what traits we saw that were similar in the 5-star diamond. So these are people that have multiple jewel legs direct to them, right? They're not doesn't just mean that they have a bunch of points, they sponsor, but they're actually developing a lot of leaders, and they've done it repeatedly. What were those? And so we kind of threw different things out, and strategy kept coming up. And I remember saying, it's not strategy. Strategy, actually, you can pick up someone's strategy and you can implement it. Strategy can even be distracting sometimes, because there's so many different things that you can be doing. And so you're looking left or right. Oh, I need to try this. I need to try that. Where I see something that is so common in the tippy top developer of leaders is they have mega vision and killer belief. Ain't nothing getting on their belief. They have belief in themselves that it can be done and they can do it. They have belief in our products. They have belief in network marketing, and they have belief in our compensation plan. And so, when you don't have a lot of that belief, you can't see very far down the road. And so if something comes up and it can trip you up so easily, so you want to be really rock solid in your belief. And if you are thinking, okay, well, I don't know that I have that killer belief yet, I have 2 things for you. One, or maybe you're saying, I used to have belief, but I don't know that I do anymore. I would be my biggest soapbox, my biggest thing that I will Plexus to my kids, everything is, who are you surrounding yourself with? Because it just takes one negative voice that will kill your belief, kill your enthusiasm. And the same thing is true if you've got someone that is pumping you up, and someone is saying, no, we're doing this, we're going places, and that they've got, maybe they're just leveled up. You want to be around people that are further ahead than you, and you're catching up. If you're just kind of always hanging out with the people that are stuck, and they've been stuck for a long time, you're going to be stuck too. That's just what happens. I love the John Maxwell quote that says, birds of a feather flock together because they're all flying the same direction. So if they're all flying the same direction, where they're just complaining, or they're just waiting on corporate to mess up, or they're waiting on, they're just always, there's something, just always something. Shoo, get out of there. If you even knew the amount of chats I have left over the years with my friends in them, that I'm just like, oh, y'all, I'm so sorry. I got to get out of here because I know I am impressionable. I am so impressionable. And so I do not mess around with that because I know the power of the voices that I am listening to. So I want to tell y'all 5 steps for creating vision for yourself. Okay. And we're going to talk a little bit in the end about being able to transfer that to your team, but I want to talk to you about creating that vision for yourself. So number 1 would be you cast the big vision for yourself. You start thinking about what is possible for yourself through Plexus. So you can kind of think of it like this. Okay. I'm going to give y'all a few questions and things that I want you to think about or journal about, or go on a walk and like let yourself think through this. Okay. So let's pretend like it is 2028. Okay. That sounds really far off. It's not. It's just like 5 years from now. Okay. And I want you to think about what your life can look like in 5 years, because it's coming. 2028 is going to come one way or another. And so what in 5 years, what do you want to have accomplished? So just kind of start and think, how old is your spouse? How long have you been married at this point? How old are your kids? What like season of life? Like just kind of start to get there in your mind. Okay, my kids are going to be this old, or we're going to be in this season of life. We might be retired at this point, whatever that looks like. Just kind of start to picture what the season is in your head. And then I want you to kind of go a little further and think, okay, what does your savings account look like at that point? What about your credit card statement? What kind of check are you writing at your church? What kind of vacation are you going to want to go on that year? What do your budget meetings feel like when it's the end of the month or beginning of the month and you and your spouse are sitting down and you've got all your bills out? What does that feel like when y'all sit down to have that budget? What does it feel like now? And what do you want it to feel like in 5 years? Have your weekend hobbies changed? Are you working extra shifts, or do you have time and you're going to play pickleball, or you're going to go to your grandkids' ball games, or you're going to volunteer at your church? Maybe you're wanting to get an RV or a camper and you're going to do some kind of weekend trips. What do your weekends look like in 5 years? What about your Plexus team? Are you going to go on Emerald Extravaganza in 5 years? What about Destination Diamond? What about when you go to convention or you earn leaders retreat? Are they asking you to come share some of your top tips because you've just really been excelling the last couple of years and they want you to come speak and share, and you're going to walk across that stage and they're going to say, also, Mary, we want to hear from you tonight. Also, Carrie, we want to hear from you. We want to share, what have you been doing? This is incredible what you've been doing. What are you getting big awards? Are you earning shopping sprees? What does that look like? A goal is earning $500 a month. A goal is earning the packing cubes or an incentive or something. A vision is saying, what is going to change your life? And I want you to know, I have made a lot of money with Plexus. I've been a diamond for years and years and years. I have lots of diamonds on my team. And I want you to know that still the thing that feels the most like security to me is when I go to the grocery store and I go to Trader Joe's and Whole Foods and Fresh Market and my places that I love to go. And I come home and I fill up my refrigerator and I fill up my pantry. And every single time, I celebrated 10 years in Plexus last month. And I get teary about, like, it does something to me to know I can do everything that I need to do for my kiddos. And I don't know what it is about filling up the fridge. Maybe it's because even though we had plenty, my husband made 6 figures and we were doing all the things when I had little kids and everything. But every once in a while, something would have gone wrong. I would have swiped my card and there wouldn't be money in there. And it would, we would end up transferring it, or I'd put it on a credit card or whatever it was. But now that I do not think about that, it's still like 10 years later, I still think about it when I'm swiping my card at the grocery store. And so if your vision for right now is that you're going to go to the grocery store and you're going to get what you need and not have to think about, okay, I've got this in here, and you've got your calculator or whatever that is life changing. And if that is your vision for the next 90 days or the next year, you start there and you start looking for daylight so that you can dream a little bit bigger. So I don't want to, there's something that you're like, well, I can't even get to a place where I would dream about a vacation or this or that. That's okay. Then you start with what would really make your life feel differently. And then you can go from there. Okay. So you're casting the big vision, but then you're you've thought about it, you've gotten real detailed on it, you thought about how it's going to feel, and then you're going to blur it out. Okay. Because you're not in Maui just yet. You're not at the shopping spree on the cruise just yet. So instead, you're going to blur it out. And number 3 is you're going to focus on the mile markers. We're going to back it up. And we're going to go, what can we be reaching for so we can start having some kind of micro goals and some areas where we can align our vision, the big vision that we have, with some action, because these action steps are what you're going to be doing daily that are going to point you closer and closer to that vision. So it might be IPA worksheets. You might have habit trackers. You might map it out where you've got your point goals for the end of the month and you've got listed, these are where I'm getting these points from. This is how many new people I'm going to need, whatever, you reverse engineer it, whatever that looks like, because what you're going to do is you're going to care more about the output than the outcome. Okay. You want to focus on those activities so that at the end of the week, you can look at what you've been doing and how many days were you doing the activities and the habits to get there. Because then if you're frustrated, you can go, I'm really only putting in about 30% effort. And you can't, what John Maxwell say at convention this year, he's like, you can't have uphill hopes with downhill habits. You can't be thinking, okay, I'm going to do all these things. I'm going to make a pretty vision board. And that's why you don't want to just concentrate on just the big, amazing things, because I'm telling you, those are possible. And I've been on diamond destinations and emerald extravaganzas for the last 9 years, and there is not a DNA of people. Like, there are people there, everybody's different, everybody's story is different, their education level is different, their whatever it is different. It's just that they really believed they could, and they started doing the things that would get them to where they wanted to go. And they did them over and over and over and over again with boldness, with energy, with enthusiasm, and they kept showing up. And I want you to know, like, at 37, it is different working out than it was at 24, when you like run around the track and then all of a sudden, like 2 days later, you had that line down your belly. Does anybody remember? Like, at 24, you'd work out and it was like, oh my gosh, I just had to run around the track a couple times. At 37, it's like you're doing intermittent fasting, plexus, macros, shakes for lunch, and you're just trying to stay the same. It takes a minute. It takes a minute of very consistent, dedicated action, right? That's what this is. Okay. It takes a minute, but if you will keep doing the things, you will keep focusing on the output, you're going to see the results. Okay. You're going to number 4, divorce yourself from perfection. Okay. Because you will start to overthink it. You're going to start, oh, I'm not going to do it like this girl, or this diamond I've seen over here, or this person I've seen on the leaderboard over there. So you have to divorce yourself from the perfection part of this and thinking you're going to have it all perfect, because you're not. None of us are. I'm 10 years in, and today I sat in my car and I'm like gearing myself up to make the Facebook story or Instagram stories. Like, it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect, but if you keep doing the imperfect action, plan it out, like have a plan, have an intentionality to what you're doing, but then you go for it. And you're able, once you keep doing the things, then you have data to look back on and go, okay, I think this is why this is not working. But otherwise, you're not going to figure it out just thinking about it. You've got to actually do the things. And then you keep visiting your mile markers. So you've got your big vision. And then from there, you dial down, you kind of reverse engineer it. These are the things that are going to happen, whether it's I need 3 level 1 golds, or I need 3 level 1 silvers, or I need to help someone go, but whatever those things are, you keep looking at the smaller vision, the smaller mile markers that are going to get you to the big mile markers. And then number 5 would be celebrate the small wins. These are your confidence builders. If you're saying you don't have a lot of confidence, you don't have a lot of belief, the confidence is going to start from actually doing these outputs, actually doing these IPAs every single day. Your consistency is going to show yourself, no, I'm serious. No, I am doing these things. And I didn't die when this didn't work, because sometimes it's not going to work. Like someone's going to ghost you, or someone's going to say, oh, I'm all in. And then the next day you never hear from them again. You're going to have a level 1 goal that you thought was your, going to be your rock star, just disappear, whatever it is. Like, those things are just going to happen. But when you keep showing up, that is going to build so much confidence in yourself that you can do the things. Okay. So, and I talked about this earlier, but your big vision may not be grandiose. But make your vision, make your mile markers achievable, so that then you show yourself, okay, I can make $500. Okay, I've made $500 twice. Now I'm going to shoot for $1,000. Now I'm going to shoot for like, you just keep climbing up and adding to, and making sure that what you're doing, you are serving your people so well. I still remember Elizabeth calling me and saying Suzanne Clinton had made like $4,700 on just her pay points alone that month. And I had to take to the couch. Like, I couldn't even fathom it. I was like, she made what? She made what? Like, I had to take a seat. I was like, I don't even know what that means. Okay. But you just keep chipping away, and then things happen. Okay. As far as vision casting for your potentials, like, what does that mean when you've got someone that you are thinking, this is a business builder, this is someone that I think can do big things? What does that look like? So one thing that I usually say to people is, hey, I was thinking about you today and I have an idea. Or, have you ever? Or, I was thinking, what if? Or, can you just imagine if? Like, you're kind of thinking about this. And I want you to know, before I'm really talking to someone about unless it just is totally I'm a big fan of cold messaging, but like, every once in a while you'll get in a conversation with someone and I realize you can't practice, but I'm telling you, practice. Walk around your living room, just saying things out loud. Walk around and just say things and go, oh my gosh, that was the dumbest thing ever. I would never say that out loud, but I just did. But I'm glad I just did it now and not while I was on the phone with her. Like, you practice these things, because then you feel more confident too when you go into the conversation. But you want to be able to help that person to dream. You want to share your belief, even if you don't have a story yet, but you're sharing why you believe it. You're sharing with that person what you see in them, not all about Plexus, not all about the compensation plan, not all about the products, but what you see in that person. And then you're repeating it often. Also, I feel like people don't watch diamond documentaries anymore. And I think that is a total mistake. I used to watch diamond documentaries every single night in the bathtub, every single night, multiple. And then that gave me ideas for people to reach out to. Like, I would not be a diamond if I was not reaching out to people all the time. And y'all, I'm a diamond. I sponsored over 100 people last year. Like, I am still sponsoring all the time, because you have to keep bringing people into the business. So if you're gold or you're senior gold and you're thinking, oh, I'm just going to help my people succeed now. Yes, you want to be helping your people succeed, but you also want to keep bringing people in, keep having conversations to keep your business being strong. So, and then when your team achieves their goals, celebrate those so big, and then point them to the future, and show them the confidence builders. Like, look what you just did. Imagine what you can do now. Imagine how it's going to feel. But take the time to actually celebrate and say, this is amazing. This is incredible. Okay, so I think this was a 30-minute call. So I think that was all. Sunday, do y'all wrap up? Do you do questions?
We do questions. We're usually an hour, but you can take as long as short as you wanted.
Okay.
So, and by the way, I took pages of notes over here. So y'all, Rebekah is so smart. And I know I'm a diamond as well. And I'm sitting there just like she is just a wealth of knowledge. Okay, so I know that y'all have questions, and I know there's some of their on there. Like Sarah Morris put, what does blur out look like? I think she meant blurt out. Do you mean blurt out like yell out, or do you mean blur out?
I did mean blur out. I mean, like, don't get so focused on the macro, on the big, that you then aren't concentrating on the small. Because sometimes I feel like people, maybe y'all have people in your chats or maybe people on your team, and you're like, okay, what's your goal this month? And they are sitting at 37 points and they're saying they're going Ruby that month. And you're going, okay, that's incredible. It's been done before. Let's talk about what that's going to look like. Like, let's map that out. Let's look at how many people that is going to be. And last month you sponsored 2, but let's talk about how you're going to get there. I mean, blurring out the big so that you can look and say, okay, how about this month you focus on enrolling 3 and helping 1 person go silver, because that's a mile marker. Then you've got people that are coming in that you're working on retaining your people. You're working on some of those. I absolutely think in a way you cast your vision and you blurt it out, that you write it out, that you've got it on a vision board, that you are hyper aware of what it is. Maybe once a week you're reading through that vision. I have mine all listed. It's right here next to me all the time. Like, I absolutely believe that. But I also know that looks really pretty and that looks so fun. But what do I actually have to do to work to make that happen? So blurt it out. Yeah, make it big. And then laser in on the activities that are going to help you to get there.
I love all of this. Okay, so let's see what it was. One here's Billy Joe asked, what do you do, or what has worked for you in the past when you feel stagnant, or as well as your team?
That is a great question. And I think Brenda Martin says activity is the cure to everything. And so a lot of times, if you're just working with the same people that are saying the same things, I've got people that have been on my team for, 8, 9, 10 years, and they're not anywhere where they want to go. I'm not leaving them. They're still on our calls. They're still doing those, but you have to bring new life in there. And so I think a lot of people would say like 80% of your time is spent developing new connections, bringing in new people, and then 20% of your time is fostering. Now, part of that 80% of your time is making sure you have onboarded people correctly so that when you do bring someone in, that I always think getting a new level 1 is basically like having a nursing infant, because you are their like only sustenance. Like, they're going to message you all hours of the day, and they're going to say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry for asking so many questions. And you're thinking, I'm so thrilled you're asking questions. That means you're working, as you actually have questions. And so you want to make sure you're really invested in getting them set up so that then you can divert attention and do it again. But I think a lot of times it's because that's belief building to the people on your team that, oh my gosh, well, like, I don't want to get left behind because she's bringing in new silver. She just helped someone fast start gold. She's, that person's getting really close to earning leaders retreat. So I think having new momentum is what works. And yeah.
But okay, let's see. Looking on here. Haley asked about the Diamond documentaries. I know they're on YouTube. They're on the Plexus Go app.
I bet I don't know if we still have the recognition website. They were there, but I do think that they're all in the Plexus Go app. I actually am really liking the Plexus Go app. So I know there's lots of tools in there.
Well, I remember they came out, what was it, every Thursday? when we
Yeah.
first
Oh,
joined.
wow.
And
Yeah.
like I couldn't wait to see whose it was that was
I
coming
know.
out. And maybe we should start posting it on the team pages that like one a week or
Yes.
something. It's Thursday. It's time to watch your Diamond
That's
Doc
right.
and see what who it is. And because it's so inspiring. It really is. Y'all have any more questions? Y'all, I'm telling you. Okay, so if y'all heard me talk about Rebekah, I'm going to give you credit here. If y'all have heard me train on posting to the perfect person that you have in mind, that's this fictitious person, I got that from Rebekah. I totally stole it. I can't even remember what training you did it on, but you talked about you have this perfect
Extravaganza.
customer or this perfect ambassador, and it's just somebody you made up in your mind. What do you think it would be like, and how old is she? Does she have kids? Does she, is it Betty, and this is what we're gonna do for Betty, or whoever. But y'all totally stole that part of the training from Rebekah. I'm gonna give you snaps for that. Let's see, do you do power hours with your team, and what does it look like?
So I have not done power. I used to do power hours all the time, and we are doing a power hour tomorrow. And that is going to look like ideas for who to send messages to, and ideas for what to say in the messages, and for creating posts and creating content. I know a lot of people love to do the green light, where they go into their messages and see. I know that was a big thing people talked about at convention this year. That seems like a big thing people have been doing on power hours on our team, is they see who's when you go into Messenger and it has like a little green dot next to people if they're online, and so sending them a message and things like that. So my personality loves to plan. I could just plan all day, but in the power hours, it's all about sending the messages, making the post, executing, sending the follow-up message, seeing who ordered the last month and hasn't ordered again. And so who can order this month, chasing down things like that, saying, are there people that maybe ordered earlier in the month that they can get a something else to up their PV, things like that.
Natalie Passmore is asking your top 5 income producing activities for those wanting to work consistently. She wants to do a checklist for her team.
Okay. I'm sure I'll forget something, but off the top of my head, I definitely think posting every day, that has definitely been something that is, and when I say posting, I mean posting with intentionality. So when I'm posting on social media, I'm either posting a direct thing about Plexus, the products, or about the business, or I am posting content that I believe will attract, like Sunday was talking about, my ideal customer. So when I'm posting, it's either something that I think could potentially get shared or saved because it's something helpful or inspirational, or something that would get new eyeballs on my post because someone else would want to send it to someone else. Or that would make someone say, oh, me too, like relatability, and they would want to comment on it, because again, that would also help with eyeballs and make them, feel connected to me and feel like we've got some common ground, so that when I do post something about Plexus, they do know me, they trust me, we have some type of connection there. So intentional posting, not just checking it off because you said, what do you set your air conditioner on today? Something like that, which is fine, like an engagement post. But if it's always stuff like that, then you're just kind of checking a box and not thinking, why am I posting this? What direction am I going that? So intentional posting. And then I would say help, like either reaching out to someone about the products or the opportunity, or helping my team reach out to someone about the products or the opportunity through a 3-way chat, or we're setting up, maybe a fourth one would be like events, so that people, like what I'm bringing people into, like inviting them to watch an opportunity training, or to join one of the messenger events or something that we have going on our team to invite people to make the next step. And then I guess, I don't know if that's in the same category or not, but looking at the people that have already said yes to me about the products, making sure that they're having a good customer experience so that I'm retaining them, because retention is definitely income producing, and then inviting them to take the next step, which would be sharing with a friend, seeing, if there's anyone that they know that would want to experience gut health too. I don't know how many that is, but those are some income activities
Well,
that I prioritize.
Again, to show how smart you are, another thing that we talked about on our team that we've gotten from Rebekah is that she used to, I don't know if you still do this or not, her planning, this is how intentional she is. She plans, or at least she used to, plans her posts like a month out and doesn't have to necessarily do every day. But I remember one time you were saying that, like, you went to your kids' games today. You'll take pictures, but you won't post them all today. You're going to post them when you want to use them. So you can plan your post out. You don't have to it's Monday night. I haven't posted yet. What am I supposed to post about? Well, if you plan it out, you'll have it. So that's one of the things that, again, I've gotten a lot of information from you, Rebekah, over the years.
I'm glad it was helpful, but I'm sure I got it from someone else. So I'm so glad that it passed through.
Billy Joe again is asking if you are doing 15-minute messenger events, or honestly, what kind of events are y'all doing for your team? I know it goes from live events to, you do the home events, you do the Facebook events. I mean, we kind of keep morphing into different things. I know right now I'm doing the 15-minute messenger events a bunch. What about you?
Those are what we're focusing on. I go back and forth. I'm always like, okay, I want to have one product event a month and one opportunity event a month, but I like a live, like a Facebook event, like you're talking about. But honestly, what's working the best for us are those little 15-minute messenger events. And so that's kind of what we're focused on here on August 28th, 2023. But in a week, it could be a different answer, but that's what's working. Right. And I was driving home tonight thinking I want to plan like a healthy hour at my house and have people over, because I do think those are very, very successful. And if you can kind of, put your own spin on it, on something that would make people want to come and make it just fun and inviting and those kinds of things, I do think those work. So that's on my to-do list, but I haven't done it in a minute.
Yeah, I agree. I think in person is huge. There's something about when people commit to coming, they're a little bit more invested because they've gotten in their car, they had to give up some of their time. They're more willing to listen to you. But I will say the 15-minute messenger events are working for us right now as well. Let's see. Did a sip and see. Thought about doing that. Y'all have any other questions for Rebekah while she's here? I want to be very, very respectful of her time and your time as well. But plop it in the comments there if y'all have one. Speak now. And again, Rebekah, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to hop on a call for us. I really appreciate it. Again, I took pages of notes. I just
so happy it was helpful.
It was. And and vision is one of my big things. I love the think big and dream big. And I was even able to grab more information from that. So I love it.
Well, if you want more information on that one book that I love on vision is that vision driven leader book. It's by Michael Hyatt. He's one of my faves. And he has a great book on vision. I read it at the beginning of this year, and it's called The Vision Driven Leader. So that was
I'm getting it. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Well, thank you so much. You do not have to stay on. This is usually when we call, what does Amber call it? The after party that we have.
Okay. Thanks for having me.
Sure. Thank you.
Have a great night. Okay. Bye.
Y'all, that was amazing. She is so sweet. And I always get more information. I don't know about y'all, but I took pages of notes. She is so smart. She is, I believe, a 3-star diamond. I believe that's what she is. I could be wrong on that. But I wanted to give y'all some quick announcements before we go. If y'all have anything, let me know. But first off, next week is Labor Day. So I believe, am I correct on that? I think it is. Labor Day. We are not going to have a call on Labor Day. So y'all enjoy your family and put us on the calendar for the following week. I really appreciate y'all. We had a big group from Marissa and Brittany and all their team tonight. Thank y'all for hopping on. We've got, well, you know, it helps when you have Rebekah. And last week we had Emily Gibson, and y'all keep in touch because in a couple of weeks we're going to have Melissa Eichenhorst. And y'all, I am part of Melissa Eichenhorst's training that she's been doing. I pay to be a part of it. Gina and I are both in there. And all I can tell y'all, it is amazing. And y'all will not want to miss when we have Melissa Eichenhorst on. You will not want to miss. She is a 6-star diamond, and y'all, she is absolutely amazing. Every week when we have our training call with her, I get off the call and I'm ready to conquer the world. I'm ready to go. She is amazing. You will not want to miss that week for sure. Yes, Emily Roberts was awesome. So next week, no call. Do y'all have any other questions while we're here?
Hey, I just want to tell you guys, I know I'm look like Amber, but this is Jana. Let's just finish the month really strong. It's your last chance to earn the cruise. This is it. And you guys, you can do it. We still have, what, 3 full days to do it. So let's end this month really, really strong.
How close are y'all? You want to put in the comments how close y'all are? Are y'all,
Yeah,
is anybody
I
just
know a
one
lot
or
of
two
you are
people
close to that
away?
buddy pass. So y'all just let's end the month really strong. Let's earn that cruise. That is going to be amazing. And then we had some previews today as diamonds, and some really, 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 really exciting things are coming. After I saw everything today, I was like, we're going to have some special calls just for what's coming. So I'm very excited about that. But you guys, in this month strong, it's only going to benefit you for what is coming in September. If you in this month really strong, hint, hint, add new people. So you guys, you can do it. And I think that,
y'all, I added on the Building Freedom page, I added my board that I totally stole from other diamonds on the 15-minute messenger event. Y'all go steal my board over there and do an event tomorrow night. Seriously, I've just used my board. All you have to do is click the buttons, and in 10-15 minutes your event's done. But do your event, grab another buddy, and y'all do, if you're close, who said they're 2 away? Miriam, grab somebody and do a messenger event and just reach out to people and say, hey, I'm so close to winning this cruise. Can you hop on and just listen? It's 10 minutes. I mean, Gina, what do you think about that?
Oh, for sure. I love the messenger events. You guys, I know a lot of you are doing them. But I'm telling you, you could do one every night. The rest, like you could do one tomorrow night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, and in the month really strong. You can throw them together literally that quickly. And people love last minute invitations. You can invite people all day tomorrow, tell them to hop on the messenger event tomorrow night. I guarantee you will have some new people. So use those. They are so easy, so easy and so effective. So yeah, definitely do those. Literally, I mean, if I was that close to earning the cruise or trying to earn the next prize in the cruise, I would be doing one literally every night.
Every night.
More.
It's 10-15 minutes, y'all. Y'all can totally do it. And here's my tip. Whoever you invite that doesn't show up, you then message them after it's over and be like, hey, you totally missed it. We're doing it again tomorrow night. and just keep getting them on. It's perfect. And by the way, Billy Joe, I put my board on the Building Freedom page. I think the one I put on there was the one for Mamas. Is I think the one I did.
Yeah, if you'll just go to the
on
Building
your own
Freedom
board,
page,
feel free to put that in the comments on that page. So
Go-
everybody can use.
yeah, in the Building Freedom page, if you'll just search for messenger events, I know we've posted a bunch of them now. So you just find one you like and run with it. They are so effective.
I totally disappeared. Did y'all get anything that I said? I was sitting there talking and all of a sudden it just like disappeared.
You're good now.
Hopefully it didn't mess up the recording thing. Okay, so what I was saying was, if you have a board already that's already set for doing these 15-minute messenger events, go put that on the Building Freedom page on that link that I have my post with the boards. So they're all together. Does that make sense? I see a couple heads nodding. If y'all have boards already set up, that way we can all kind of share back and forth. I only have 2 right now. I have one for mamas and I have one for the active person. So I've got a couple of athletes and men and that kind of thing. All right. Anybody else have any questions? Oh, Janelle has one for the sleep. Janelle, go add that to that thread. All right, I'm gonna stop recording.